All right, welcome to this new bulletin we are sending. We're trying to make in English every day, daily, sending news headlines we are collecting around the world, bird news, and I hope you like it. And if you like it, so please subscribe to the channel and you will get your daily dose of world news around the world. Let's see and go and get the first ones. So now we have the situation going on there in Suez Canal, and the Iran's ambassador to Russia, 𝐃𝐈𝐒𝐂𝐋𝐀𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐑, he said on Sunday that the necessity of completing the international north-south transport corridor, called ENSTC, has once again been highlighted by the large container ship now blocking Suez Canal. And it's resulting in over $9 billion of daily loss for the global economy. So according to the Twitter account of Iranian embassy in Russia, 𝐃𝐈𝐒𝐂𝐋𝐀𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐑 said that the INSTC cuts the transport time by 20 days and reduced cost by 30% compared to traditional route currently used. So he referred to the blockade of Suez Canal by a large Japanese cargo ship called Ever Given, and added that the event represented the necessity of low-risk alternative to the traditional route. INSTC is the best one for the purpose, as said by the Iranian diplomat. So you really have to ask yourself now, when I've been asking for myself, what's behind this Suez Canal shipment tragic accident? Can it really be an accident? So after they published this, and I have a second, let's see, the second picture here. Here is the north route, what he was talking about. There's been planned at first from big, let's say, industrial areas, India and China. They would transport all the things to Iran, and then it will be dropped in a train, and the train route has been building up slowly, going up through Iran, Azerbaijan, Armenia, etc. And according them, Iranians, so it would be cheaper to take the stuff through that route. And they are actually building this route now all the way. It should be ready in next year's time, and it's going all the way to north, it's coming all the way to Finland. So it's interesting, of course, but we have to remember that Iran is not today the most secure place to send your stuff. So I suppose it won't be very popular among the businessmen and among the world transporters. And but the question which arose was that I started to think about, hey, wait a minute, why is this suddenly this ship, which normally Suez Canal has been working over 60 years, and nothing compared to this has never before happened. Why is it now so really badly jammed? And it's just a speculation, which I heard also from other sources, that Iran has something to do behind this all. Because a few days after the ship goes and make this blockade, and now we have about 300 container ships waiting for their turn to get into the channel, and it's causing, like, is it $9 billion a day loss of profit when the ships are standing there waiting. So suddenly Iran comes out with this nonsense talk about taking the stuff through Iran. So it just makes me wonder. But anyway, let's continue. From Iran, more news also coming. It's the news about Iran and China suddenly signing up a 25 years cooperation agreement, which they have been negotiating a long time. And you know, Iran has been quite a way isolated from the Western world, economic sanctions on that, and etc. So it's been looking for somebody who would like to make business with it. And the totalitarian regime of China seems to be one good partner, only partner. Almost. So they have now made 25 years cooperation. And behind that, I also saw a news about vaccines. Iran has totally banned all vaccine coming from Western worlds, of course. So, and they are looking for, they would like to have vaccines from China. They've been buying vaccines from Russia, but Russia hasn't been able to ship as much as the demand is. Or is it just a play? Because there is also an article, I don't remember, do I have it here, saying that pretty much there ain't so much hurry in Iran for vaccines, because they're growing up, disappointment about Iran regime has been growing and growing, but now this has been a very good situation to get rid of all the opposition. So very hard talks about and very hard speculation about Iran regime playing with the life of citizens and getting rid of opposition. So I don't know, but it's in the air. So they signed a pact 25 years back. So then let's see, something about alarming is the condition about United States Navy ships, and like, let's see the headline. Headline is there. U.S. Navy has a new enemy, rust. I don't know how new it is since they've been building steel ships, so they have that problem. They rust. And every sailor knows that there's never ending list of jobs you have to do in a ship, right? But it seems to be that is the problem of the leadership, or is it the problem about money? Don't they have money to buy paint? But it seems to be, according to this report. So the U.S. Navy now, example, what they have ships in Boxer and Henry's seaport in Kiel, Germany, and Destroyer Gravely is also there. So James, the author of this report, James Holmes, wakes up very big concern about, with this kind of ship, how do you say, shipment handling of your equipment, so it's not good. It shows totally lack of leadership. It shows totally lack of that you are neglecting. And what is the rest of the quality of that kind of seamanship who don't care about the ship condition of the ships? And I totally agree with that. If you have a warship and the job of that crew and that ship is in the event of the war to be in good condition, best condition, and to be able to carry its tasks. So it doesn't give a very good impression about the condition of the United States Navy now when their ships are rusting like that. So we have to follow up that. I hope they do something about it. Then let's go a little bit back to the Suez Canal. I found from Hindustan Times they wrote that canal workers now have finally they have dredged down to 18 meters, and they finally got freed the evergreen ships, and that propel area is now totally free of mud, and little by little they are gaining that ship from the mud. There is now 350 ships waiting. Also, Joe Biden has offered to send help to Egypt if they need. There is already, if I remember right from the article, there is like 30 tugboats going towards that catastrophic area. So yeah, I think it will be next week when we will see. I really hope so. But a good amount of forces are now on the way, so it should be little by little finding relief. Let's hope that. And what did I have then? Plans for the first eco city on Mars. And this is a very interesting article about plans for the, how do you say, well, permit inhabitants on Mars and permit colony going to Mars, and they estimate it will be happen around 2050, 2054. Very ambitious program. We know that Elon Musk is now building the first spaceship, which is exactly built for that flying to Mars. So far, all the ships he have done, the prototypes, they have exploded, but it's just a question about time and few more tryings. I'm sure the engineers will resolve all the problems. But 2054, they have plans to get this kind of colony there. It will be interesting. But who is then to claim the Mars? Who is going to own that place? And that is going to be a really interesting question for our grandchilds. Maybe we will see Star Wars coming up in coming years. Control of the Mars. Who knows? Yeah. Very nice news have risen from Middle East. They wrote about Saudi Arabia are going to plant 10 billion trees in the desert areas. And they have produced a really, really hard tree quality who can survive in harsh environments. And I think it's very, very nice news. It gives hope. And for once, they are putting the oil money in something useful. And Also, yeah, let's go a little bit also again back to Suez thing. There was independent just newly. Okay, let's see where the commercial like that. Egyptian president orders operation to lift containers from stricken Suez Canal ship. So that is one of the hardest tasks if they start to lift containers off the ship. It's going to be really difficult operation. Ship has 20,000 containers, and how to lift them from the ship, which is like this way in the channel. It's not going to be any easy task. You need to get the cranes beside the ship. You need to get, most probably you need to get some other container ship there also. So they're just moving them from one ship to another. And everything has to be very beside each other. I suppose it's the only possibility to do it that way. But interesting news. And then lastly, I live here in Thailand. I'm retired on pension, so I have interested about Thailand news, and I saw that finally they are trying to do something to get the tourists back to Thailand. Before this COVID virus, so we had about 40 million people visiting Thailand every year. Tourist business is one of the biggest business in whole Thailand. Almost 1/3 of the income for Thailand did come from foreign visitors. Now they try to think about that Phuket Island could be a so-called, what could we say, concentration camp. But something like, Paradise Island totally isolated from the outer world. So people fly there and they live there like in paradise, and then they fly home. And whole of the Phuket Island would be COVID-free area. And if you have a vaccination license, how do you say, then you can come to Phuket and stay there. Very, very ambitious program, which I have my doubts. How can it work? But we just know that Thailand regime has really, really big problems. They need to get the tourists back. Anyway, that kind of news collected from world headlines, and I have a plan. I can do these every day. I'm doing this also in Finnish. So if you understand Finnish, you can watch them. But if you are English speaker, so you can watch this. Have a good day. See you on the next video. Bye.